Hey everybody, it's Lawrence. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about the subtle ways that morality keeps your sexuality in check. I was speaking with a friend of mine today and she was talking about that as a friend of hers learned more about her interest in sexuality in general, sex and spirituality, that friend became more and more distant. And my friend said to me, she said, "Well, this scares me a little bit about sexuality is other people's reaction to it, and why when you speak about sex and spirituality, why people have such strong reactions." And she said to me that that scares her about pursuing this path in any way. And I immediately replied to her, that is because she still has what one would call a moral framework. So, in other words, sexuality and how we feel about sexuality is all based on our framework, our learning framework, the culture we grew up in, the family we grew up around. And what I suggested to her was that when that moral framework drops, then it's irrelevant what this other person thinks. Putting it another way, the the person in question, let's just call it this other person who is being judgmental about how my friend expresses her sexuality or what she talks about, that friend has nothing to do with anything. That, she doesn't pay bills in life. She's just a person. And she probably has lots of different fears. She probably has, fears of, I know for a fact she has fears of the country. She has fears of flying. Some people are afraid to walk around at night. People are afraid of all kinds of things. So the fact that they're afraid and therefore respond to us differently doesn't really matter. It's only the moral framework when it comes to the fact that it's about sexuality anyway that it becomes an issue. That's because suddenly, we act as if, sexuality has some special place or some special distinction. And in the reality, it doesn't. Not in reality. It does morally, it does culturally, it does in people's frameworks, religious beliefs, ideology, spirituality, blah blah blah. But in reality, sex is just sex. It's just these cells touching these other cells, no big deal. But the fact that we feel culturally so strongly about it is the big deal. So what do? You begin to work on your own beliefs. What are your own moralistic beliefs regarding sex and pleasure, your own freedom, what you can express, what you're free to express, what you're not free to express, and realize that in some way these are completely arbitrarily based on the culture, the religion, the system, the universe that you have inherited, that you find yourself in, and they're not based in truth with a capital T nor reality with a capital R. That's all I have for you today. Just a thought for those of you, especially I will say for my female listeners, because female sexuality is so polarizing and so moralizing and so intense for people. We want to continue to essentially deconstruct or demythologize female sexuality. And of course, I'll have more about this in the coming weeks and months. Have a beautiful day. See you next time.